Hello, my name is Brianna Smith, and this is my reflection video. I am studying special education. I'm getting my master's degree in special education. Um, and I did my case study on reading composition and fluency, which was interesting for me. Some of the things that led me to work with my case student on these issues was that I already work with her on a daily basis, and I saw the struggles that she was having. And as a registered behavioral technician, I was able to confer with my board certified behavioral analyst, um, or my supervisor, to see how kind of best we could help her. Some deficits that she had was definitely reading fluency, as my student had no decoding strategy and simply relied on memory or word recognition. Um, I attempted to give her a decoding strategy of like sounding out the words. Um, she did not like doing it, but she was mostly effective in it. My data showed that she improved in her words correct per minute, um, but not necessarily her words per minute, as sounding out the words took a little bit longer. But she would get more words correct than when originally started. Another issue that she had was reading comprehension. She does have delayed processing. She's maybe a first or second grade understanding level. I noticed that she struggled a lot with main idea and evidence-based questions. Um, uh, I attempted to teach looking back in the text to answer her questions. She would respond well. She would actually go back and look in the text, but she did not want to answer questions after looking back in the text. Um, and if I asked her the questions again, she would get frustrated with me as she felt that it was just repeating over and over again. And that's one of the things that she does not like. Um, my data was collected after the story was read and questions were answered. My words correct per minute and words per minute were counted after reading for 1 minute. I did those manually. My comprehension score was taken from a website called ReadWorks, that she went through and answered all of the questions on. So that was kind of easier for me. And then I put it on a note card afterwards, so would always have it with me. And she appeared to make progress in certain areas over others. As I said before, she read more words correct per minute, but did not improve in her words per minute. So she's improving in her fluency, but not her accuracy, but not her speed, which is fine. As long as she's understanding what she's reading. And we don't really want our kids to read fast, just correctly so they can understand what they are reading. Um, she did show improvement in comprehension. but only if questions and answers were read aloud to her multiple times, um, which ended up being really frustrating for me because I had to read the same things over and over and over again. And then after I completed the um the assessments and everything like that, I did another one, and um her comprehension actually went up to 100%, and I did a whole big celebration with her, and I was so proud of her. Um, I definitely grew during this. I grew as a teacher. I became more patient, more understanding. I also feel like I am better able to grasp the needs of students, and something that helped with that was the IRIS module. I think it was one of the first modules that we did on foundations for effectively teaching study skills. It talked about how different executive functions can impair certain parts of learning for students, and then tools to use like graphic organizers and cool down methods. I also learned and grew in identifying my EBPs. Module 2 really helped with that. Um, and just kind of like you should always use them, but trial and error to figure out what works for you and your students. Um, so I also improved on making a plan, so planning my instruction. The planning instruction assignment um, in module like 3 or 4 really helped with that. It kind of gave a framework for it, and then feedback was helpful to find exactly what was supposed to go in and exactly how to do it. Some things I would do differently would not be the decoding by sounding it out. It did not go well with that particular student, but it works pretty okay on other students. Personally, I struggle with it anyway. So doing the sound out method probably wasn't a good idea for either me or my student. Um, and like a gap I may have had is maybe better ways to teach a decoding strategy. Um, and then I plan to continue doing the release of control. I do, we do, you do, to help students become more independent and do more evidence-based practices and not just what I think will work, because most of my thoughts are based on um, evidence from one student and not many students. And I think when I become an actual teacher, doing practices based on evidence from many students would be more helpful than doing evidence based on one student. Um, so yeah, see you later.